Good evening, everybody. It is Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It is time for your live edition of the final say as we discuss last night's 1-1 draw with fellow relegation rivals Leicester City under the lights at Elland Road. I appreciate that obviously there's a lot of football on at the minute, so anybody that drops into tonight's stream, it's very much appreciated. Just before we get into tonight's stream, please smash a like on it if you're in the building. It really helps get the stream out there in terms of the algorithms and stuff. So if you could drop a like, that'd be great. Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new as well. We're on the road to 3,000. And yeah, if you could hit that subscribe button, it is free and it'll massively help me out. Hit the notification bell so that you're always aware of when I'm uploading. And of course, get all of your comments in the live chat as we go, and I will get into all of them. So we'll get into a few just right off the bat. Freddie's saying, come on, Brighton. Yeah, they are currently drawing with Nottingham Forest at half-time. Forest equalised just on half-time, which isn't ideal. Hopefully, Brighton can get that job done in the second half. Scott's in the building saying, Javi has not got a clue as a manager. Should have played Nonto. Subs all wrong, and second half too defensive again. Yeah, we will be getting into that in a bit, mate. Don't you worry. And JC's in the building as always. Evening, Jay. How we doing, my friend? There's 6 of you in the building. Again, I appreciate it is a little later than usual. But obviously, as I have said previously, my dad is currently in hospital and stuff, but he was allowed out for the day for a few hours. So I've not long been back from seeing him. So again, I appreciate that there is a lot of football on at the minute, which I'm sure everybody's watching. But, you know, mute the football and just listen to me waffle about Leeds United while it's on. There's 9 of you in the building, which is good to see. So then, let's just get straight into it then. I have actually got the City-Arsenal game on right next to me as well. So if I keep having a look, then that's why. USA fans here for Charlie. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. So, for me, straight off the bat, I just feel like this is another massively missed opportunity. I feel like Leicester, yeah, they've got some good individual players and they have got some real top players in their squad. However, you know, they've been woeful all season, especially away from home. So, you know, I was really, you know, I was optimistic going into it. I wasn't confident, but I was optimistic. I feel like there's a difference. But you know, I thought under the lights, Elland Road, the crowd were bang up for it as well. The atmosphere was actually really good in Elland Road last night until Leicester equalised. But I thought for the majority, the fans were right behind them. But yeah, like I say, guys, another massively missed opportunity for me. You know, I feel like whenever Leeds have the opportunity to get out in front, to maybe just edge away from that bottom 3 ever so slightly, we just can't get it done. I think, obviously, beating Forest in that game a few weeks ago was one of the only times where there's been an opportunity and we've taken it at the time. I feel like last night was a similar scenario. But yeah, look, I felt like Leeds United came out first half and dominated. I thought we were much the better team in the opening stages. Yes, obviously Leicester did get that goal through Tielemans, which was ruled out for offside. I'll be honest, from where I was at the South Stand end, it didn't look like it was offside. It just looked like a worldie of a goal. And if that had stood and it hadn't have been offside, there'd been nothing that Melier could have done. The defence, it was literally just a beautifully struck goal. But thankfully for us, it did get ruled out by VAR. Obviously, the lineup was some things I was happy about, other things, and the major thing, which I will be coming on to in a little bit more detail shortly, I wasn't happy with. Obviously, I was pleased to see Brendan Aronson come out of the team. And it felt like Javi was kind of going for it in a way by playing Rodrigo and Patrick Bamford up top at the same time, which I felt like was a good move. I feel like it's something we've not seen a lot of. Granted, whenever we have seen it, it hasn't looked great, but it hasn't been for large spells of time in games, really. And I think we saw it for a good 60 60, 65 minutes or so last night, and I'll be honest, I was quite impressed with the overall performance in that first half. I did tweet out yesterday after what happened on Twitter yesterday morning. I felt Weston McKennie should have been dropped just to get him out of the firing line because of obviously his mate talking absolute waffle on Twitter yesterday morning. But he threw him in, and fair play, because I thought in the first half Weston McKennie was one of our better performers, as was Mark Rocker. I thought everyone was sound in that first half. So yeah, let's just get into a few more of your comments. Jay's saying, "Match not give it to you all, man." Appreciate that, Jay. He is all right. He is all right. It literally is just a waiting game at the hospital, but yeah, he is all good. But thanks for that, mate. Jay's also saying that he's just disappointed. First half full of energy, looked comfortable. McKennie, Harrison, and Rodders were all up for it. Second half, we were as flat as a fart. No energy and too passive again. Poor subs. Yeah, I mean, subs plural is actually being generous, isn't it? Because we made 2 subs out of a possible 5. But yeah, as I say, guys, we will be coming into that in a little bit more detail, 100%. As I say, there's 16 of you in the building, which, considering there's Haaland has just missed a glorious chance for City there, a chance to make it 2-0. But yeah, there's 16 of you in the building. I do appreciate that with all of the football that is on. If you could smash a like, that'd be brilliant. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new as well, and get all of your comments in, and I will flash them up on screen. So yeah, let's just speak about Leicester in this game then. So, as I said, I felt Leeds United started off the much better team. And their goal that was ruled out for VAR, if that had stood, I felt like it'd have been a bit of a shame because Leeds did start the game well. But how many times this season have we said that, where we've started off the better team and then the other team have an attack and they score from it straight away? It felt like that was going to be the case, but thank God for VAR for ruling that out. But yeah, Leicester, they grew into it as the first half went on. They did have a little period just before we scored where they did have a lot of the ball for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes or so, but they didn't really do anything with it. I felt like their fullbacks were very gettable, and I felt like we were giving their fullbacks a hard time, especially Cine on his side. And I think Harrison was pressing the hell out of that Christiansen for them at left back. So yeah, it was really good to see. There was fight, there was passion, there was endeavour, I felt like, especially Rodrigo, he were playing for the shirt. And that's all you can ask for in a relegation battle, isn't it? Especially in a game of that magnitude. Yes, we didn't win, but at least we didn't lose it either. So, you know, in that respect, I was happy, but obviously for a lot of things, which again I'll come on to shortly, I'm very outraged and very baffled and very dejected from it still as well. But yeah, Leicester, as I say, they have got good players. James Maddison was also refereeing the game as well. So yeah, a man of many talents. He can play football and he can ref football as well. Absolutely brilliant. Boy, him and Tielemans in the refs here. Every time they were going down, every time they had a free kick, they'd move a few extra yards in front. It was saying it was further forward when it wasn't, and the ref was just letting him do it. It was baffling. It was really frustrating. I felt like the ref was ruining certain sections of the game by just blowing the whistle at every little thing rather than just allowing the game to flow. But again, it happens sometimes, doesn't it? Like that, where refs are a little bit whistle happy, so to speak. But yeah, look, as I said, they have got top talent. But I felt like in the first half we limited them. As I say, they grew into it as it went on. But I felt like the second half was when Leicester really came alive. Leeds looked flat. Leeds looked dejected. Leeds looked fatigued, massively fatigued, which again, that's why you've got substitutes waiting to come on, but we'll be coming on to that, and I think Leicester, and fair play to Dean Smith, he made the right changes. He brought on Jamie Vardy, brought on Patson Daka. Harvey Barnes didn't score against us as well, which was a massive bonus. Barely did anything in the game, really, Harvey Barnes. I thought Ayling did quite a good job on him, to be fair to him, last night. But yeah, as soon as Vardy came on, he started dictating it up top. The runs he was making, obviously, it was at our end, at the South Stand end. You could see it clear as day. The good runs that Jamie Vardy was making, and our defence was struggling to pick the runs up. And James Maddison as well, as much as it was annoying when he was going like that after Vardy equalised, his kind of part in Vardy's goal was good as well, how he kind of dropped deep to receive the ball to then play Jamie Vardy in. So, they have got intelligent players, and I feel like a draw, as annoying as it is to admit, a draw was probably fair. I was saying this after the game to my uncle as I was walking back to the car. I feel like a draw was probably fair because I felt like Leeds were better in the first half and Leicester were better in the second. I don't feel any team deserved to win it, but I feel like a draw was probably fair. It's a game that we are gutted to have not taken 3 points from, and they will feel exactly the same as well. To be fair to them, their fans travelled well, and they were loud. They added to the atmosphere, which again is always good. I thought Elland Road was definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Even when Leicester equalised, there were certain things said from the crowd, but there was no sack the ball chance that I heard anywhere. There was nothing aimed at Orta or anything like that. A lot of the frustrations was with the manager, and as I say, oh, sorry guys, I just noticed John Stones just scored for City, but it's been ruled out for offside straight away. But anyway, so yeah, I felt like the ground was it was a good atmosphere. In fairness, it was, and I felt like the crowd was really with the team. As I say, even when Leicester equalised, it wasn't as hostile as I thought it was going to be. But all of it was aimed at the manager, and as I've said in the title of this video, the manager's incompetence is going to cost us big time unless he makes significant changes and changes his approach in certain moments, because his reluctance to play our star player, our best player, is just staggering. Absolutely staggering. But again, we'll be coming on to it. VAR is just looking at the John Stones goal at the Etihad. But as that's happening, what does Javi say at half time? Seems we play worse in the second half. Yeah, interesting point. Is that, Scott? I feel like the play did go downhill in the second half. Manjeet's in the building. Evening, Manjeet. How we doing? You could see John Terry's influence on the Madison. Yeah, exactly. Moaning at the ref all the time. Manjeet saying it's worrying that subs were not used, which not helping, and it's frustrating. Exactly. And the John Stones goal is going to be given, guys. It's onside. That's 2-0 to Man City right on the stroke of half time. Big blow to Arsenal is that. But yeah, like I say, you'd think in second half, wouldn't you, when they make changes and it starts working for them, that you'd react to it and you'd put players on. Adam Forshaw could have made a real big difference in that midfield. You could see that McKennie and Matt Rocker were heavily tired, heavily fatigued. But again, no change in the midfield. Willie Gnonto, again, I want all of your guys' opinions on that in more detail shortly. But Gnonto, you've got Rutter, 35 million quid. Whether you agree with him being good or not, we've spent 35 million quid, and against Fulham, it didn't come on at all. And last night, it didn't come on at all. Why? He could have a real good impact. We don't know because we've not seen enough of him. Do you know what I mean? But again, I will start ranting on that soon, believe me. So stay tuned. There's 17 of you in the building. Please smash that like button if you can. Please subscribe. It is free and it'll really help me out on the road to 3,000 subscribers. And yeah, as I say, hit the notification bell so that you're always aware of when I'm uploading and going live, and get all of your thoughts and opinions in everything that we discuss in the live chat, and I will flash it up on screen. Scott saying that he won't play Gnonto on Sunday. No, he probably won't, and that is the issue. That's the issue in itself for me. It's just baffling and really, really confusing, guys. It really, really is. So obviously, just a small talking point from the first half as well. Obviously, Sinistera did score our goal, a really good header from him, but then he gets injured, and I feel like Cine's main issue this season is that he's too injury prone, and that's probably why we were able to get a good deal for him from Feyenoord, because when we've seen him, he's been amazing, energetic, gets at players, skillful, real good quality on the ball, technically gifted, a goal scorer. He scores nearly every time he plays, but his injury record is an issue. It's a big issue. And look, it did look like a bad injury. I don't expect him to be available for Sunday at all. But again, this is where players like Nonto, even Rutter, if you want to play Rutter instead, you've got players on the bench that could come on and make an impact, but it's not known because you're not putting these players on. You're not allowing them to go on and express themselves and get Leeds United out of this mess that we're in. Like a lot of you have said, and I've seen it a lot on Twitter and socials and stuff today, it's too passive, it's too defensive. And like someone said, what happens at half time? What's the team talk at half time? Because really good start, great first half, much better than what we've seen recently. And then we come out second half, and you could just tell. I think Dan Moylan said it perfectly on the square ball on the match ball last night. He went out in the second half to just hold on to that 1-0 lead and to just sit back on it. And that is totally, totally the wrong way of going about it. You're at home. Can understand it in a way if you're away from home. But come on, you're at home. You're at Elland Road. Fans are up for it. We've just scored. We're in front. And then you come out second half and play like that. It wasn't as bad as the last 3 games, I will say that. But it was a significant drop off. And Leicester, like I said, Dean Smith made the right changes at the right time. And it benefited them. As soon as Jamie Vardy came on that pitch, their attacking play just elevated. It just elevated. And it was so clear to see as well. Julie's in the building. Hi, Charlie. Hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm all right. Apart from Leeds, Julie. Yeah, have clueless chocolate. Farquhar when it was Willie on the bench. Yeah, when he's supposed to be injured, board needs to come clean and tell us what's going on. It stinks. Yep, and I've seen a lot of theories that maybe Willie Nonto has to get a certain amount of appearances, and then Leeds may need to pay FC's Zurich a little bit more, and maybe that's a part of it. There's all these conspiracy theories going on. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I don't think he's injured. I think something's happened behind closed doors. I think there's been a disagreement. There's been an argument. Something's happened. Because if it's a meritocracy, then he should be playing. If it's quality, he should be playing. Fair enough, he brings Somerville on, and Somerville I thought was fine in the game. I thought it was good when he come on. But that was the moment to bring Nonto on. Or if you think, right, fair enough then, he's brought Somerville on. Maybe as Harrison starts to tire and wear off in the second half, he can bring Harrison off and put Nonto on. But no, he kept Jack Harrison on. Even in midfield, you think, right, let's get maybe McKennie off, because he is... I'm not fat shaming him because I actually don't think he's fat, but he's a little bit heavier than Rocker, so maybe he might start to fatigue. You bring him off, you put Forshaw on to help Mark Rocker just solidify that midfield. No, he leaves McKennie and Rocker on. Right, okay. Up front, you've got Rodrigo and Bamford, both having decent games. I thought Bamford, up until the major blunder that he had, I thought he was doing all right. I thought he was linking up the play better than what he has done recently. I thought Rodrigo was bang up for it, which I love to see. But he brings Rodrigo off and he puts Brendan Aronson on. Now, Brendan Aronson, when he come on, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It was just on the pitch. He just existed on the pitch. And I struggle to see, like a lot of us do, what Brendan Aronson brings to this Leeds United side. Now, there is a player in there, 100%. And I feel like in a few years, if we stay up and he stays at Leeds, I feel like he can be a good asset to us one day. But he's not ready now. We needed something for the here and now for this season. But again, that just comes down to extremely poor recruitment from Victor Orta. The fact that we've spent £35 million on a number 9 that isn't a number 9 now because Javi Gracia'S said he's a winger. That isn't playing. That's not getting on the pitch. The fact that we've got McKennie, who, let's be honest, on the whole has been garbage, apart from that one game against Forest and 45 minutes yesterday, with an obligation to buy for 33 million. Apparently it is an obligation, so if we stay up, we have to sign him for 33 million. I think he gets a say in it, which based on everything that his mate's been saying, you know. Again, really, really, really poor recruitment, and it's shocking that it's got to this point. Bielsa feels like a lifetime ago. It really does. And one thing I'll just say on Brendan Aronson as well, which I do not agree with in the slightest. When he come on last night, it wasn't loud, it wasn't bad or anything, but there was a few boos in the crowd, which I don't agree with at all. Look, I didn't agree with that sub. 36,666 people inside Elland Road didn't agree with that sub. However, if you think he's low on confidence now, then what's that going to do? What's that going to do? Yeah, he deserves criticism, but you don't boo him at the ground when he comes on and start singing Willie Nonto. Again, we all knew we wanted Willie on the pitch. But you don't do that because it knocks his confidence and you can't be booing your own players. You just can't. No matter how good or how bad they are, you have to get behind them, especially at this critical point in the season. I just wanted to get that out there, guys. I'm not, everyone is each, it's each to their own with how you conduct yourselves at a game and your opinions and such. And yeah, I was seething. I was so angry that he brought Aronson on and not Nonto, but I didn't boo Aronson. And like someone said behind me, I hope he comes on and proves everyone wrong. Do I want Brendan Aronson to prove me and everyone else wrong? Absolutely. I am here to be proven wrong. I'm here for it. But he's not offered anything. And I can get people's frustrations at him coming on, but you don't boo your own players. You just don't. Let's get into a few more comments. Jay's saying, as soon as we put Aronson on for Rodders and switch from 4-4-2 to 4-2-3-1, we gave less. Yeah, exactly. The formation and the tide of the game completely changed at that point, Jay. 100% agree. Bamford and Rodders were both shattered by 65, 70 minutes. Javi should have put Nonto and Rutter. Keep the 4-4-2 shape that was working. Exactly, because Rutter is like a taller forward like Bamford is, and Nonto is a shorter, stockier forward like Rodrigo is. So you've still got that balance, haven't you? But again, completely changed the balance of the team, the plan, the formation, and you could really tell that it had a negative effect on us in that second half. Gracia'S too cautious, does not want to take risks. They're going to sell him. They don't want him injured. Maybe, yeah. I think if there was a bust up between Javi and Nonto, then Javi would just drop him altogether and stick in the... maybe, but I don't know. Do you think the board picked the team? I hope not. God. Can barely run a football club, never mind run the team. Our manager was a poor fifth choice who is tactical, useless and unable to see the other team's tactical changes. What does he see in Aronson, the floor hugger? He didn't actually go down as much last night, in fairness to him, but yeah, I understand what you mean. Aronson's first involvement in his match was to give the ball away. He isn't Premier League ready. Yep, he isn't ready, mate. 100%. If we go down or not, I have a feeling Nonto will be going. Graham agree Nonto has been sold. Yeah, I do think we'll lose Nonto in the summer, regardless of our Premier League status. They should say that he is injured or not injured. Easy, then win. Yeah, exactly. 100%, mate. We can't be booing our own players, even if you don't want him to be subbed on. Yeah, 100%. The silence from the club cannot continue, says Yorkie lad. Yeah, agree. Forest 2-1. Are you having my life, Ted? Are you having my... Oh, what? Danilo. Ooh, it keeps us 16th. But we're level on points with Forest if it stays like that. Bloody hell. Oh, let's see what the reaction's been on Twitter. I'm sure every Leeds fan is very calm right now. Right in the Gary Kelly's. Goodbye, goodbye Premier League. Was nice knowing you. Fair enough. God, if it stays like that, that's pretty bleak, innit? Oh, God. But again, guys, this is why last night was so important and a massively missed opportunity. Jesus, that's all we need. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But life being a Leeds fan, eh? So then, before we get on to Javi Gracia and Willie Nonto and my, just a little few more points I want to make about that issue. Let's just talk about that Bamford miss. Boy, oh boy, that lad frustrates me. That miss defines our Premier League status for me. Because if we go down, we're going to look back at that, aren't we? And I'm not necessarily saying we'd have deserved that win in the end. It was 50-50 really. But if that had gone in, Elland Road would have erupted. It did when Cine scored. I had lads 2 rows behind me, nearly on top of me. It were mental when Cine scored. But if that Bamford chance goes in, if it had a roof, the roof would have been blown off. How did he miss that? Can someone please explain to me how that ball did not go in the net? I mean, I don't even think he's gone to hit it with the wrong foot or anything like that. He just is it of it. My argument at the time was, he's seen it late, but for me, that even that's not an excuse. He's stood right there, gaping open net. All he has to do is just tap it and it goes in. I was saying to my dad earlier, actually, because he watched it in the hospital on his iPad. And he was saying, how did Bamford miss that? I went, I don't know. I don't know. Every time I watch the clip back on Twitter today, it angers me. And I don't know why I keep doing it to myself, but I'm just so confused with how the ball did not go in the back of the net. And as I say, guys, that could really, really bite us on the backside now. Because we're now heading into Sunday against another relegation rival now after they got beat by West Ham at the weekend. We're now going into that game needing the win. Am I confident that we're going to beat Bournemouth at Bournemouth? Absolutely not. And for me, similarly to last night, if we lose on Sunday, especially, if this Forest result stays the same way, if other results don't go for us, Everton have got Newcastle tomorrow and, stranger things have happened. They could get a result. It's at Goodison Park as well. I'll be keeping an eye on that scoreline, believe me. Bournemouth have got Southampton away. A draw would be ideal in that game, I think. And Newcastle should get the win at Everton tomorrow, hopefully. You know, hopefully Brighton can at least equalise against Forest tonight, because I can't go into Bournemouth absolutely needing a win, because I don't think it's coming. And like I say, guys, if we lose on Sunday, we're done, in my opinion. Because the games after that, City away, who are beating Arsenal 2-0 at half-time at the minute. City away at the Etihad with our defence. You know, sorry for swearing there, but if Javi's been defensive and passive now, could you imagine the setup against Man City? It's just going to be 10 defenders in it. Or everyone just in our penalty box. And someone just man-marking KDB and Haaland. That's going to be a cricket score that day. So you can write that game off. Even if we win all of the others, you can write that game off 100%. I'm thinking 7-0 again like last season, 7 or 8. Easy. Easy. We're not even going to get a shot on target in that game, so we might as well just rule it out now. Newcastle at home, I think that'll be a defeat as well. And thank God I'm missing that one as I'm on holiday. West Ham away. West Ham seem to be hitting some decent form at the minute, so maybe a point at the most. And then Tottenham at home on the final day. Spurs, are not great at the minute. They've got Ryan Mason in charge. The last time he came to Elland Road with Tottenham as their interim manager, we beat them 3-1 in the first Premier League season. Something tells me it's not going to be that. I think Spurs could lose every game up until then, and they'll come out and beat us. So again, if we don't win on Sunday, I would be surprised if we pick up. I think it's very likely that we won't pick up another point this season if we don't win on Sunday. Do I think we can win on Sunday? Absolutely. I think we're more than capable of doing that. But it's just if we can. If we can. I said it last week. It wouldn't surprise if the team below us go on a 3 or 4 game unbeaten run. Don't say that, Jay. Bamford owes us a hat-trick on Sunday after that miss. God, he owes me a lot more than a hat-trick. Worst part is if Perkins or Joseph Rutter or Nonto or anyone else were on in his place, they would have... I think anybody else, anyone from any position in the Leeds team in that area puts that in the net. Anyone else but Bamford scores that. When Cine scored, Bamford fouled himself. If you watched the video, did he? God. That does not surprise me in the slightest. For me, our survival will be on what other teams around us do. I think we are done. Yeah, I tend to agree, mate. I'm at the stage where I think we are going down, and I'll be devastated. But the sooner you start to maybe bring your mindset round to that fact, maybe it might be a little bit easier to deal with when it happens. But yeah, I agree. I think definitely if we lose on Sunday, I think we are done. 100% done. And if we hit that bottom 3, I don't think we come out. That's just my opinion. 7 would be kind, yeah. I think you're on about City there, aren't you? Yeah, that would be kind. And I'll probably, sounds daft, but I'll probably take it, to be fair. It's not we've not seen before. I was there last season when they beat us 7-0. That wasn't a great night out at all. Yorkie lad saying, I have a feeling we beat Bournemouth. They concede us just like us. So if we put in a performance, it's for the taking. Yeah, 100%. I think Bournemouth can definitely be got at, even though it's at their ground. I feel like they've picked up some good results recently, though, and I think on the attack they are a decent team. So it'll be interesting to see how we set up in that game. I just hope that he goes for it, because we've got nothing to lose now. He needs to go for it. Play the best possible team that you can. And please, for the love of God, just go for it, and don't be so passive and defensive against Bournemouth, who, let's be honest, regardless of where they are in the league, are a newly promoted team. if we win on Sunday, 3 points, then we only need a point from next 4 games to stay up. Yeah, and it's one of them, Mark. I think that if we do win on Sunday, then I think we could just do it. But like I've said a few times now, if we lose, I think we're done. And it was a weird feeling leaving the game last night because it sounds daft, but I think even if we'd have lost, I think at least we'd have kind of had an idea of what was going to happen. But because it was a draw, it was kind of like, right, as you were then. Do you know what I mean? It didn't really give any clarity on the situation. If we'd have won, everyone would have been optimistic and we could have seen a way out. But a draw is just a bit like, right, okay, well, if we lose on Sunday, then we're done. If we could just get the 3 points on Sunday, though, that would be absolutely massive. Mark saying my granny could have put that sitter away. Yep, probably. But yeah, be interesting to see what the team's mentality will be like on Sunday after last night, conceding a late goal and throwing it away. Yeah, but I think the good thing is that it wasn't a late winner for Leicester, which obviously I know they had the ball in the net again through Vardy, didn't they? And it was ruled out for offside, which it was offside, so that's fine. But yeah, it's an interesting point because I've questioned the mentality of this squad numerous times this season. So let's see if they've really got the bottle on Sunday, because Sunday really is make or break now, 100%. Even if we draw the game on Sunday, I think we're done, 100%. Does anyone have faith in Javi's starting 11 anymore? I don't. No, I don't. And that leads us on to my final point that I just want to end on. It is a negative point, guys, and I could be ranting for a short while, but I just want to get my thoughts on this Javi Gracia Willy Gnonto situation. And I saw someone tweet this earlier, actually, and I really do agree. I've never changed my opinion on a Leeds United manager so quickly, ever. Because when he first come in, first few games, and again, we're all fickle, aren't we? But first few games, we had a bit of a purple patch. We had a bit of a bounce under him. We only really lost to the teams that we were expected to lose against, but he beat everyone that he should. You know, we beat Wolves, we beat Southampton, we beat Forest. But I think since Forest, or at least since half-time against Palace, I feel like his mentality has just changed. And yes, we got beat 5-1 and then 6-1 back to back. So I understand that he wants to, make us more solid at the back. But in doing that, you're negatively impacting our attacking play. And you're setting us up in a way that is just so passive, so defensive. When, let's be honest, we haven't got a great defense. So why is he setting us up like that? I think for Leeds, attack is our best form of defence, which is why the reluctance to play Willy Gnonto now is staggering. Staggering. I mean, come on, guys. The guy's just sat on his arse on the bench, twiddling his thumbs while we're in a relegation battle up against a relegation rival. As I've said earlier in the video, Dean Smith made changes, saw where they needed to strengthen, and he made the changes. So what's going on? Has there been a falling out behind closed doors? If that's the case, if there's been an argument, you just need to get on with it. You need to grow up. You need to stop acting like a petulant child, realise his quality, and put him on that pitch. Simple. Now, if it's a meritocracy and if it's about quality and you're not picking Gnonto, but yet you're choosing to put Aronson on, hoping that he can affect the game rather than Gnonto, give your head a wobble, Javi. I feel like he's inept. I feel like he's incompetent. And he's really, really frustrating the living daylights out of me at the minute. Really is. Haaland's in to make it 3. Oh, and Ramsdale saved it. But yeah, Massively incompetent at the highest level. I can't actually believe we actually have a player as good as Willie Gnonto, who is on the bench, because he seemed to play him in the first few games, but now he seems to just not pick him. Is it because of Nonto's attitude that he can be a little bit hot-headed? But I feel like in the midst of a relegation battle, you need that. You need a bit of fight. You need a bit of dog in you. Again, guys, like the title of this video suggests, Gracia'S incompetence is going to cost us big time unless he realises his errors and makes changes. And KDB's just made it 3-0 to Manchester City. That's Man City winning the league, isn't it? But yeah, like I say, the guy is an absolute clown at the minute. And everybody who was hurling abuse last night, it wasn't at the players, wasn't at the board, from what I could hear around me anyway. Not at Orta. It was at Gracia. And rightly so. Rightly so. But again, we're not football managers, so who are we to say? But when 36,000 fans in that ground last night all went quiet when Aronson came on, apart from those idiots that booed him. You know, it's not Aronson's fault. He came on. He's been asked to go on and do a job, and I'm sure that he is putting effort in to do that. It's just not coming off for him at the minute or all season. But the lack of awareness to see that, you know, if Nonto had come on, he wouldn't have only added quality on the pitch and directness and all that good stuff, but it would have lifted the crowd as well. And the crowd would have got bang up for it. And I personally think, and it's all well and good saying it now in hindsight, but if Nonto had come on, I think we'd have killed that game off and won it. I do. Which is a frustrating thing. And again, guys, Bournemouth really, really is make or break now. I know everyone said it about last night, but Sunday really is make or break now. If we don't see Nonto in the starting 11, or if we at least don't see him for quite a good portion of the second half, then there's no hope. There's no hope for us. There's no hope for us under the delusional Gracia. So yeah, we'll just get into a few more of your comments before we end the stream, guys. Agree, Charlie, same here. Yeah, same, mate. I thought he would be the man to keep us up and get us secure by now. If he walked away tomorrow, I wouldn't give a SHIT. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't either. We've already said it. Nonto is leaving. Yeah, but even if he is, like, we knew Rafinha was leaving last season, but he put everything into the end of that season and he kept us up, not Marsh. We wouldn't have stayed up if we didn't have Rafinha last season. But at least Rafinha was playing, wasn't he? Marsh, to be fair to him, knew that Rafinha was our star player and he played every game in which he was available for. Not playing on so must have an impact on his own ability, yeah, and it'll have an impact on his mentality and his attitude as well. 100%, mate. Nonto coming on, crowd goes wild, kill the game. Exactly. Why would Heavy play Nonto on Sunday when he's not bothered to play him the last few games? Yeah, I agree with that, and I'll be honest, I don't think we'll see Nonto either on Sunday. I don't think we'll see him either, which is why I don't think we'll win the game and why I do think we are done for this season, unfortunately. I really hope that I get proven wrong. I am here to be proven wrong. If we stay in this league, I will be buzzing. I'll be elated that we can hopefully have a good restart in the summer ahead of another Premier League season. I just don't think that's going to be the case as I sit here now, guys. So I would strap yourselves in for the negative end to our season, because I think that could be the case now, guys. I really do. So we'll bring the video to an end. We've nearly been going for 50 minutes now, just under. Really do appreciate everyone that has joined in the stream. There's 17 of you as I'm about to finish. So please like the video on your way out. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Hit that notification bell. And of course, get all of your comments in if you're watching the stream after it finishes. There'll be no content on the channel tomorrow, guys. But obviously, on Friday evening, I will upload my predicted 11 for who I think will start the game against Bournemouth on Sunday. Then your match preview Saturday. And yeah, there'll be a lot of Bournemouth content out over the weekend, guys. So make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're aware of when I'm uploading. As I said, like the video, please subscribe, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.